at some point in life, it might become valuable to consider pursuing a spiritual path. And that happened for me at a young age due to health concerns. And although it probably happens to everyone at some point, we get confronted with our mortality and then we wonder what's next. The spiritual path is actually a path towards reality, and it's a path toward perpetuity, which means foreverness or immortality. I don't use the word immortality because it implies that your body gets to live forever, and I don't believe that will ever be the case. I've heard of some beings who are hundreds of years old living in India. I've heard several stories from multiple people that people who may or may not be immortal do exist. However, I perceive immortality of the body as a bit of a trap. We didn't come here to stay. We didn't come here to leave either. We came here to learn. And we're here for an amount of time, and then we leave. And whether we come back or not, you just need to leave that to religion. I really don't know. But the piece that's valuable about knowing about the spiritual path is that it does achieve results. It's not a fantasy. My experience in interacting with some of my friends years ago are that they were not comfortable spending money on things that they couldn't hold. And for me, I was already on a spiritual path, so I understood the value of shifting what I had going on internally, because I understood at an early age that you can't take it with you. All this money, your house, these things that we accumulate, they don't come with us when our bodies die. But what does come with us is how we feel about ourselves. And, if that's a point for debate, then I'll just say, if I'm wrong, if we are mortal and this is all there is to life, well, then I've lived a good life because I have pursued a higher calling. Even if this is the end, I had a good time. But if we are immortal, and if you do continue on consciously past your body's death, and you've not prepared for that, you're going to be in for a rude surprise. And for me, it just wasn't worth the risk. I would not risk wasting my life pursuing girls and money and crazy fun, only to find out that I should have been learning something about myself instead. So I'll just point out to you that when you spend your hard-earned money on spirituality, and it doesn't even need to mean coming to my workshops, because I do charge for that. There are plenty of teachers out there, and there isn't any teacher who is just going to let you slide for very long without exchanging for the information. But when you trade money for spirituality, if you're new to this, it could feel like you are trading something for nothing, because your cash you can hold on to while feeling good just sort of you can't hold on to it. As soon as you try to hold on to feeling good, it goes away. So many people have this idea that spirituality should be free, and I can't give it away because I invested my entire life pursuing this, and I have to pay rent just like anybody else. I got to pay insurance on my car, I've got a cell phone, I have bills. Trying to start a family here, this is my life. And if I did go get a job somewhere else, I would not have the time or the energy to make these videos and pursue this other thing. So something for nothing, that's one way to perceive it. But the other side, the other way of perceiving it from your immortal self, is that you are trading something fleeting, which is money. Money comes and goes. You are trading something impermanent, which is money, for something permanent, which is how you feel about yourself. Now, can you imagine the value of letting go of your suffering? And do you consider how much of your day is spent regurgitating your history, wondering what mistakes you made, wondering what you could have done better, or trying to fix mistakes that you made, or wishing you hadn't done them? Any mental distraction you have to your past or to your situation is just that. It's an incredible distraction. It's because of that distraction that you are missing out on the magic of life. So what you do, what I hope you do, is you do the online workshop that I've created at Free of Limits on YouTube. And when you do that, you will deconstruct the reasons that your body has for holding on to old suffering. And when your body discontinues holding on to old suffering, you will find yourself here now, voluntarily and by choice. And that being in choice about that is an amazing internal freedom. And that is what I'm offering you. But the other thing that happens when we're not distracted by our past is that we start noticing a lot more right here, right now. And some of the things that become a lot more obvious are things like synchronicity, intuition. The universe, the universe lines up for you constantly and all the time. It's always lining up to teach you the lesson that you need to learn. And when you get past your suffering, the lessons that the universe opens up to you to learn are a lot more fun. And you'll get to learn a lot more about yourself and about how your intention and your imagination impacts the world around you. And that is where I would like you to be. Because when we all start playing in that magical realm of good intentions creating good effects in our environment, life really does become magical, and you really can begin to create heaven on earth, or whatever you like to call it. It starts with you, and it starts with altering your perceptions and discovering that your suffering isn't based in reality, but rather based in a misuse of your imagination. I would like you to prove that to yourself, and if you take my online workshop, you will see the steps involved in achieving that. Many people have already done it, and they have succeeded. The only people who have failed are people who started the workshop and then didn't complete it. And I wouldn't even call that a failure. I would call that getting what they needed at the time and then taking a break. So if you've done the workshop and you would like remedial help, or if you need help just getting through the workshop the first time, whatever you require, I would love to help you see you through it. And if I can't help you personally, one of my assistants will. There are people now getting through my teacher training, and they are eager to help people with questions. So send your questions in. We are all one family, and I choose to remember that. So don't be a stranger. Thank you.